What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugas, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugas. And today I'm going to take a look ahead and preview and predict the NFC West Division for the 2025-26 season. I'm gonna predict the winner who come out second, third, and last. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop a dime on the Cash App information is down in the description box. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, that information is down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. NFC West, man. First looking at last year's winner, the Los Angeles Rams. And yeah, they scared me. They had me scared, man, as an Eagles fan. When Matt Stafford threw that pass to Puka Nakua, I was like, oh boy. But shout out to Jalen Carter with the big sack on third down and forcing a rush through on fourth down. And we got the win. And as an Eagles fan, that was by far our toughest game of the whole postseason. So shout out to the Rams for that. But last year, yeah, made it to the divisional round. Also, prayers for all the people in LA who went through the LA wildfires last season. So they had a lot to play for, and the Rams played some inspiring ball down the stretch. Sean McVay, he's one of the best in the business. Matthew Stafford is really, really good. And, typically gets off the slow starts, but then they pick it up toward the end of the year and make a little run. Puka Nakua is just one of the best young up and coming receivers in the game. Kyron Williams is a solid running back. And I'm impressed with Jared Verse on the defensive line, who had won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And he talked a lot of smack heading into Philly, and he backed it up. A lot of people fold under the pressure and playing in our front of our fan base, but to give him credit, he stepped up. So they had a good year after, knocking off the Vikings in the first round. The 14-win Vikings, might I add. Then we take a look at the Seattle Seahawks, who last year came up a little short of the playoffs. Geno Smith had a really good year throwing the football. You had DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and all them last season. Kenneth Walker was kind of been in and out of the lineup. And they had a defense that was, it was okay. But they won a lot of games, man, and nearly made the playoffs. Then looking at the Arizona Cardinals, they kind of they had some nice wins. A nice win in San Francisco, but came up short, man. Kyler Murray, who at times looked like he gonna be one of the best in the league, and then at times he kind of gets a little quiet and disappears a little bit. But they had a nice tight end in McBride who stepped up out of nowhere. Though he didn't get a touchdown till late in the season, he really stepped up and made some plays for them last year, along with the rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. And then looking at the San Francisco 49ers, who obviously was probably the most disappointing team, arguably in the whole NFL, coming off a Super Bowl appearance and barely losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. They fell apart last year. Now, some of it had to do with injuries. Brandon Ayuk went out with an ACL early in the year. Christian McCaffrey barely played. And defensively, Dre Greenlaw came back later in the year. And overall, it was just an underachieving team, man. Very, very underachieving. They had the issue with Debo damn near choking out the kick on the sideline. And then he had a crucial drop in a one or two of their games. Real ugly year for them, yo. Now looking at this season, first off, starting off with the Los Angeles Rams, they lose Cooper Cup, who was one of their most prolific receivers, former Super Bowl MVP. But they bring in Devontae Adams, who is one of the better receivers in the game, especially route running receivers, to go along with Matthew Stafford and Puka Nakua. I think that's going to be a really, really nice 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Kyron Williams, of course, and the running back, and a young defense. Guy like Jared Verse, and a bunch of other young guys who are going to step up to try to, make a name for themselves. Then looking at the Seattle Seahawks, man, they kind of in a rebuilding mode. Geno Smith is now in Vegas. They did bring in Cooper Cup, ironically from the Rams, but DK Metcalf's in Pittsburgh, Tyler Lockett's in Tennessee. They lost a good bit on the offense, off the offensive production, but Sam Darnold is now takes over as the guy, hopefully for them, their franchise quarterback. We're gonna see how he does, man. Had a great resurgence in Minnesota. Now let's see if he gonna bring that same energy he had to Seattle to get them up and coming. Then the Arizona Cardinals. Maserati Marvin over there in the second year, hoping to continue to grow and develop as a number one receiver in the game. Kyler Murray still over there, kind of in the middle of things, like not really great, but not bad neither. And defensively, shout out to Josh Sweat, man. The new Arizona Cardinals come from my Philadelphia Eagles. He's got his bag in Arizona. Shout out to him. Buda Baker, one of the best safeties in the league, one of the guys I like watching play. And I think they got a steal in the second round of the draft with Will Johnson from Michigan also. And then looking at the San Francisco 49ers, their biggest thing is staying healthy. Brock Purdy got his bread. For a lot of people who was wondering if they would go on and pay him, they did take care of Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey's back. We'll see if he's healthy. Brandon Ayuk. Ricky Pearsall, though, shout out to him getting shot and coming back and looking good, man. Looking like a good, solid wide receiver. Jawan Jennings is really stepping up as a receiver. George Kittle got a big, massive deal in the offseason. And then you still got the likes of Trent Williams on the O line, Nick Bosa rushing the passer. They got my old guy Bryce Huff over there. We're gonna see what they do with that. And then Warner's still one of the best linebackers in the game. And I think, they got Robert Sala back over there as the defensive coordinator. And I was going to say, I think that's an underrated move for them, getting him back as the defensive coordinator. Now, time for my predictions, man. You know what? This is going to be one of the, I think, worst to first situations. I'm going to go with the 49ers to win this division. I think they're gonna get healthy for one. I think Robert Sala being the defensive coordinator is a big deal. I think he's an elite defensive coordinator in the game. Not probably not a great head coach, but I think he's an elite defensive coordinator. Uh, and then for them, they're just gonna be more healthy. I would assume Christian McCaffrey, you would think gonna be healthy. When he's healthy, he's obviously one of the top three running backs in the game. George Kittle is still really good. I think they got a solid receiving. They traded away Debo, but I think they got a solid receiving core with Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and Jawan Jennings. And Brock Purdy is happy now, has his money, so that's off of his head. And they got an easy schedule. They're going to be playing a last place schedule. So I think the 49ers going to win the NFC West. I'm going to go with the Rams finishing second. I still think their defense is a little too young to really make real serious noise, though I like what they got going on offensively. I'm gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals third. I think they're gonna play solid defense. With my guy Josh Sweat over there, so I'm gonna go with Arizona coming out third, and I'm gonna go Seattle finishing last in the division. I just think they lost a lot of their weapons. I think Cooper Cup is kind of on the last leg, the last tier of his leg. And they got some young pieces, but I just think the other three teams might be a little better. So I'm going to go San Francisco 49ers winning the NFC West, Los Angeles Rams second, the Arizona Cardinals third, and the Seattle Seahawks last place. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content of my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly Eagles, fly.